When life gives you lemons, I think you're supposed to make lemonade or do something with them, and I'm pretty sure that holds perfectly true for what I've just done. I have just bought, in my opinion, the perfect track bike with a caveat. It's a Wrecked RSV4RR, the bike I've always wanted, and it's arriving any minute. So let's go take a look. How cool is that setup? That ramp.
Yeah, perfect for what I do.
That is wicked. Here we go. I can't even remember what I bought. Is it 2017 or 2018? I can't remember.
Not sure, I need to check the paperwork.
I actually almost forgot I'd bought this bike until the other day. And then I was thinking, pretty sure I bought something the other day and I just can't remember what it was. Like a goldfish memory. What a wicked setup. So you can fit 4 bikes in here.
Yeah, 4 in here, pretty comfortable.
That's cool. Awesome, here we go. My first Aprilia.
Right.
At least it's Italian. Goes with my other bikes. Ooh, look at that. I love that swing arm, just the silver.
Straight in the shed, is that the plan?
Yeah, if you could.
Yeah,
if you could just push it up a little bit, just go straight in the shed, or maybe just park it over there in the sun. That'll be fine.
I had to jerry rig a bit of a system here for your stand because the spring retention.
The spring's gone.
Buggered, so.
That's alright. Mate, that's not bad. That's actually alright.
Happy with that?
Yeah. Not bad at all. This has got to be like one of the least damaged bikes I've ever bought. That's hilarious. Damn. Okay, cool. Well, we're gonna have a bit of a deep dive now. I'm gonna get it in the shed, sign off on the paperwork with Gary, and yeah, let's jump into this bike in a sec. So I'm about to set myself a challenge. It's probably totally unrealistic, but I'm gonna give it a go anyway. There's a track day coming up. I really want this bike to be ready for it. I'm gonna set a 36-hour build challenge. Can we get this 2017, it is a 2017 by the way, Wrecked Aprilia Rsv4RR built, customized, ready for the track for me, for my personal track bike, in 36 hours. I estimate 2, maybe 3 quick episodes. The track day is this coming Saturday. If I can't make this one, I'll make the next one, but 36 hours maximum build time. We better get to it. Okay, so let's assess the damage, and I've already found one thing that I didn't think I was gonna get. This screen, I was told it was completely trashed, but if you have a look at it, it's actually just the glass that's cracked. So I have a feeling for $20, if I buy the replacement glass, I think I can fix that screen. And over here in my box of RSV4 goodies, this entire box is everything I've ordered ready for this bike. I have a replacement screen already in here, which I paid almost $900 for. So if I can fix this, which I'm gonna try and do, then I will be able to sell the other one on eBay for about $1,000. So worst case, I can't. However, I turn the key on and there's no power. So I don't know, we'll have to figure that out. I'll probably just plug it into the trickle charger tonight and see if we can get some power going by tomorrow morning. What else have we got? We got some aftermarket shorty levers. This one looks all right on this side, but this one over here, I think that's gone. So I'm gonna need some new levers and I don't have them. So I'm gonna have to try and get onto them super quick. I can't for the life of me figure out what this is. There's a negative side on that side and then there's a positive side on that side. I should know what this is, but I just don't. I've never seen that on a bike, and it's a domino thing, so I don't know. I'll have to look that up and try and figure out what that actually does, because I really have no idea. I did notice that it's actually got a pit limiter on there as well, so pit, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, massive bonus, it comes with a key, so ignition being a big bonus, otherwise you're looking at about $1,000 to $1,500 to get that done. I'm also super happy about the frame. So the frame looks like it's pretty much untouched, so it's really nice and clean. even the swing arm only has some minor little grazes on it. So if you just look there, like someone's put some stickers over something, so that's gonna have to come off. But I think I could polish this all up to look really nice. Rear fender looks like it's in one good piece. Front fender is beautiful, it's carbon, it just needs a good rub back. So same with the front fender, and ooh, look at them. Aren't they nice? Some nice reflectors. Yeah, they're coming off. And the rear Aprilia exhaust actually just needs to be brought back to life. So I just need to sand it back and do some clear coat over that and the front fender, and then that will look nice. I guess one of the good things is it actually comes with Ollie knobs, so frame sliders, and these are really good ones because they actually take a lot of load at the time that they hit. So there's one of those on each side, and then we've also got what looks like some pretty worn down ones on the front axle as well. The rear axle has it on one side, it's got some RNGs on this side, but nothing on this side, so that's going to need to be replaced. That can go, so we'll be able to sell that for about $100. It's an RNG tail tidy. The seat can go because we'll need to get rid of that extra spare seat, and this whole rear, it looks like it's in one piece actually. That whole rear fairing can probably go on eBay as well, so there's probably another $200. So we're probably looking at $300, probably maybe $100 for that. There's roughly $400 or $500 there. These pegs can go because I'll put an actual holder on the exhaust, so there's another $200. So now we're looking at $700 roughly in return straight away. The stand can go because we're never going to use the stand, even though there's no spring attached, but that's cool. Oh, there's the spring just there, so I can put the spring on it. So there's another $100, so now I'm looking at about $800. Is my maths working? I think my maths is about right. One thing I'm bummed about is I didn't realize these bikes didn't have a hydraulic clutch, so they've got a standard cable clutch, but that's okay, I guess. I'll live with that. What else is broken? Oh, the ducts are completely broken, the ear ducts when they come in here, so we're gonna have to replace those ear ducts. So that'll get done. The entire front stay, this whole piece here that holds the actual front fairing on, that's completely busted, so we're going to need a new one of them. And it looks like when it's crashed, it's actually broken the stem off. It's completely broken the what's that called again? Steering damper. So steering damper's gone. The bike generally is just dirty, it just needs a really good clean. It looks like there's still some fluids in it, so I'm going to have to check all the fluid levels. I'm told the bike actually starts, but we'll see how we go with that. I do love these. Like they almost look like integrated rear reservoirs where they just, I think that's where you fill it up, like right there where the reservoir is part of the actual master cylinder. So that is pretty cool. This will be the first bike, actually no, the second bike I've owned that has a full swing arm. So yeah, I actually don't mind it, to be honest. It's got Brembos, so it's got monoblock Brembos, so that's cool. They're not super heavy duty, but they are good. And red wheels. So that brings me back to the next discussion, which is design. So I actually already have an idea for the design on this bike. I'm not going to share it just yet, but let's just say it will be an ode to Italy. And I think it's going to look amazing. It's only a short space of time, you'll be able to see it finished anyway. Which brings me on to my next point, is something that I picked up during the week for a very good price of a good friend of mine who's got an Rsv4RR or Rsv4 factory, like a really nice one, brand new. I picked up a set of fairings. So as you can see up on the shelf up there, I picked up a set of Racer's Edge fairings, Australian made, Racer's Edge, super tough. And I've actually already done some prep. So we're gonna hit the clock now at 36 hours, and I'm going to take 4 hours off that straight away because I spent 4 hours prepping these fairings. That brings us down to 32 hours we've got to build this bike. Can I even do it? I mean, am I just setting the dumbest target? Probably. One steering damper, busted. So I just found something else. The actual water bottle on the side of the radiator has ripped out and there's a hole in the side of the radiator. So just here, the sleeve which goes in there, just like that, you can see that sleeve go in. That has to be re-welded back in place. So I'm gonna have to take that sleeve off. It doesn't look like the bottle's broken, so I should just be able to take the sleeve off and weld it back in there. Oh, the radiators have actually got guards on them as well. It's got radiator guards, that's pretty cool. That's good, small bonus. So because Aprilia use screws in the front mounts here instead of bolts, you actually have to turn the front wheel, which means you've got to put the back stand on and then be able to relax your workbench so you can actually get a screwdriver in there on the right angle. How weird. So I'm so used to working on Ducatis, and then this is just a learning experience, I guess. A different motorcycle, at least it's Italian. So I'm also going to take the exhaust off so I can start prepping that for gloss. So we'll do that now. Do you know that an RSV4RR has a dipstick? Not like most motorcycles that have a little window to view your oil level. No, it's got a dipstick. I'm not lying. 2017 with a dipstick. Done. So that is actually quite a nice exhaust. Imagine that, how good that's gonna come up. I've done a few exhausts over the years and they are so easy. The only problem with this one is the sticker. The sticker is shot, so I'll see if I can get a sticker for like $3 on eBay. Okay, so that's quite a lot of stuff ripped off the bike already. Last thing to come off is the radiator, and I've also got to get my V4S radiator fixed, so I'll get them both done at the same time. Next up, before we strip the bike anymore, we're going to, well, I've already got the battery on charge, as you'll see, because we're going to test the electrics. So we're going to test the electrics in the next episode. We also want to try and see if the bike will actually start. So we're going to give it a full service, oil, filters, you name it. Everything's already purchased. We've purchased heaps and heaps of parts for this build to do it in 36 hours. Obviously don't have 36 hours left. You know the drill. This bike's going to be epic. Like, subscribe. Get ready for an awesome build. We bought quite possibly the world's cheapest RSV4RR Aprilia. I mean, this thing was a complete wreck. We set ourselves a pretty crazy challenge. Could we build this bike, customize it in 36 hours? And this build is probably going to come down to the wires. And today is all about trying to get this ape to start. So let's crack on. Okay, oil is actually not too bad. We'll just run a quick magnet through it, see if we can find some gold. Nah, there's nothing. That magnet is clean. Clean, clean. So I got my beautiful bald-headed assistant here that does a pretty shine off the back of your head there. No, pretty close. So this is all cleaned up now. Everything behind it's cleaned up. We've removed the stay for the stand, so that's off. So we've saved ourselves about probably 300 grams there. And now we've just got the new quick shifter arm going on. From there, we should be able to put the remainder of the actual rear set together on both sides. I'm probably gonna have to steal the actual shift arm, sorry, the shift peg off this V4S because I don't have one on the brake side. And next up, I'm just going to replace the air filter, and then we're going to connect the electrics, and then we should be able to try and turn this baby over. New K&N filter going in and pre-oiled, ready to go. Look how gunky and dirty this is. So this is disgusting. I should be wearing gloves. But that's pretty bad. So, out. Rubbish. New one in. It's actually quite easy. It's actually easier than on a V4 Panigale. Okay, sweet. So that's all on. These are our cheapies off eBay, but that's cool. Nice and light. So I didn't have to go and buy new rear sets because, let's face it, I'm probably going to throw this thing down the road and go farming at some point. And I can adjust the peg. I can actually adjust that, but now we've got the new... Oh, do we still need to tighten up this arm, or is it... Oh yeah, I need to tighten that up.
Yeah.
And the quick shift is all on now, so we'll get the new arm in place. Okay, awesome. So we have connected, I think, everything. Yeah? Everything's connected? You think? Fingers crossed. So let's just check the electrics first, and this should... Oh no! It's fucked. It's completely shattered. Oh, it is screwed.
Lucky you got a new one.
Oh well, yeah, lucky I've got another one. I was really hoping I could just buy the glass for that and replace it, but hey look, at least we've got power. So, let's put some gas in it and see if we can get it to start. Oh wait, does that tell me if I'm in neutral? Okay, I'm not in neutral. Do you want to... Oh no, it's saying N, but I think it's gonna... No, that's first, second, first, second. Neutral, we're in. Okay, cool. Let's put some fuel in it and see if we can get it started. Here we go. World's cheapest Aprilia Rsv4, first start, fingers crossed, key, might help. Okay, so it's priming, so that's good. I got nothing. I got no power at all. So I'm priming, but I got no ignition. Oh, here we go.
So close.
But you can actually hear something click. Oh, it's almost there. Can you feel that power? It wants to go and then it just stops. Oh, it's gonna run. I think. I wonder if it is that sensor. So it could be the bank angle sensor. It just cuts out. See, and then it won't let you go again. So it's cutting something out. So it's a fuse of some sort, which is probably this right here, which is the bank angle sensor. So we do have a replacement one for these ordered, which hasn't arrived yet, but on the shelf over here, I've got one for a Panigale V4S, and this, that's my assistant giving a thumbs up. This should actually fit because it's all made by Bosch and it's got the same serial code. So quite often on all of these superbikes, if you look closely at the parts, they're often made by the same company, Bosch, for most of the electrics, and you can switch things out. So don't feel that you always need to pay top dollar for a branded piece. Right, let's switch this out and see how we go. Okay, take two. We've got the new bank angle sensor that was swapped out from the Panigale. Let's see if that makes a difference. It's just sort of jimmied up at the moment. It's not all put together properly. Priming. Nothing. Priming. I've still got nothing. Same thing. Well, I can't get it to start. I've tried everything that I can think of. The only things now I can think is maybe it's related to the clutch switch, the clutch sensor, or maybe the gear indication sensor, that it can't tell that it's actually in gear. I will just finally check the side stand switch to make sure that's not affecting it. Otherwise, I'm going to get to work on putting the front end together and at least get some progress there whilst I try and brainstorm how on earth to get this bike running and how many hours we got left. Started the day with 29. We are down to, it's been 6 hours. We're down to 23 hours to get this bike running. Ugh. Okay, so the problems are accruing. The problem now is when I go to put the new front stay on, it actually hits, whoops, it actually hits the steering damper. So I'm gonna have to modify this, even though it's brand new, I'm gonna have to cut a section out just so that steering damper can fit. I've tried to flip the steering damper, it wouldn't work. So I'm gonna have to cut in to an OEM part that I've only just bought. Not ideal, but things you do for a custom bike, eh? I've got these carbon fiber. These are smoking hot. They're from Pro Fiber, which I think is in Romania, but I could be wrong. I'm not quite sure how they hold in place because there's no bolts. Like the OEM ones have like a clamp that clamps them in place. So I've got some double-sided tape. I've got some hook and loop tape as well. And I'm just going to make it work because that's what you do when you're on the clock. Okay, it's 8:30 on Saturday night and I've finally got the first mock-up done. I've done quite a lot and we've got a fairing on the bike, so it looks awesome. Let me take you for a quick look at it. First thing I've done is I've switched over the holder on the back. I had to make some mounts there out of some rubber spaces I had to hold that exhaust. The exhaust still needs to be coated. I'm just waiting for the sticker to get here so I can do a fresh coat on that, so some nice clear. We've replaced the foot pegs, so we've got some new foot pegs and we've stolen some of these off the V4S. We put the fairing on, but it is just like gently mocked up because the lines still don't work. The radiator shrouds that need to hold it in place aren't actually in place yet. So it is really just sitting there with a few loose bolts, but it's going to look pretty cool. This is actually the old screen. We've got a new screen, so we've just got to cut, we've got to pre-drill the holes in the new screen. And I've just got a couple of bolts sitting in here loosely just to sort of hold this front in place. The next up, I'm probably going to put the front fender back on. We'll coat that another day. And I'm going to do the brakes. So we've got a new set of carbon pads and some titanium bolts going on there. We've got new grips going on. We've got bar end, safety ends going on as well. We've obviously got the new dash in there, so that looks pretty sick. Like, this is awesome. Like, for a 2017 bike, that is a super futuristic dash. Almost looks like you're watching TV. I love it. V4, insert code, blah, blah, blah. I'll get around to that. That's cool. Not massively happy with this tank cover, the way it sits out. So I'm going to make some modifications to it because it's also holding the seat too tight. So I'm probably going to snip some little bits out of the inside of this tank cover here, just so it moves forward like another 3 millimeters and just loosen this up. We've got a really cool surprise coming for the seat. So we're going to strip that off and get to work on that. But other than that, I actually think it's looking pretty cool. So, I mean, my first RSV4, it's actually looking like a superbike. So, yeah, onwards and upwards. Look at these old ones. There's almost nothing left on them. They are virtually skint. But I know it's there. It's a short in the middle to What a pain in the ass that was, to be honest, to try and get that on. I don't actually think I can even remove this. I think it is so tight on there, which is probably a good thing, that I can't get it off. So I'm gonna have to paint the bike like with this on here. So there's no way I can get it off without cracking it. It is just tight as. That's okay, I'll get around to that. And I just realized that is really not sitting right, that seat. So I'm gonna have to get a massive gap here I'm gonna have to fix, because on the other side, I don't have that gap. Wow, nowhere near as bad. So we're gonna have to fix that. Another issue, another day. We are down to the wire on this build. 18 hours remaining. We've still got to put the radiator on when that comes back from being fixed. We've got the electric issue we have to sort out. Paint, decals, all the other special parts coming for this bike. The slicks need to go on it. The bike needs a clean, let's be honest. And then we're gonna move on to this puppy, the V4S. What can I say? It's gonna be amazing. Like, subscribe, you know the drill. Okay, so I've got to be honest, we are so close to getting this bike finished, but it is frustrating the hell out of me. And that's because I can get the engine to fire over once, but then it completely stops. So we've already isolated that it's probably not the lean angle sensor, because we switched it out with the V4S lean angle sensor, and that made no difference. What I think it might be is actually the oil pressure sensor, and then as soon as you fire it once, it's telling the engine there's no oil pressure, and that is located all the way down here on the front of the engine. And that is not exactly easy to get to when you've got big fat fingers. So what we're gonna do is, in the very first part of this video, I'm gonna try and bypass it. So an oil pressure sensor on a RSV4 looks like this. And all I should need to do is get the connecting cable and ground it straight to the frame, to something like this point here. And if that all goes well, we can just bang on with the rest of the build and get this done in the required time. Now I have also cheated. So at the start of this video, we had 18 hours left. I'd spent roughly an hour on the front and rear carbon. So I redid the carbon and gave that a nice gloss clear. And I also redid the exhaust. So I put a nice new Acro sticker on it. That's actually a metal back sticker, so it's a heat proof sticker. And then gave it 3 coats of high heat gloss clear. So that looks a whole lot better. So we're actually down to, I think, around about 16 and a half hours left. And that's not much time for me to do all the paint job, finish off all the little other pieces that we've got for this bike, and get it track ready. So I've just started off. I've made this little extension here, copper wire. It's pretty thick wire, and it's just got a little clip on the end. I should be able to push that into the end of the actual sensor, and then connect it to a point on the frame, and that should bypass the sensor itself. I won't run it like that for too long, because if I know that's the problem, I'll order a new sensor, $40, slide it in, drain the oil, slide it in, put the new oil back in it, and then that'll be fixed. So fingers crossed this fixes it. Let's give it a go. I really hope this works. Okay, power's on. Oh, nothing. Still got nothing. Maybe it's an ignition sensor. Let's try it again. Hasn't done a single thing. So I put the idea of actually getting this bike running on ice for a little bit. I can actually prep everything else ready for paint. So I've got the bike all wrapped up, just like that. Just like a $1 wrap job with the plastic sheet, and I've just got to fix up the tank. Where's my hand? There. I was going to fix up the actual, mask that off as well so I don't paint that white. Oops, I have just dropped my hint as to what I'm doing. So next up, what I'm going to do is just a wet rag, nice clean wet rag. I'm just going to go over the entire fairing, spray it all down with water and give it a good clean, and then we are going to hit it with a base coat. And I might have mentioned this in an earlier video, but we are doing an Italian themed bike for an Italian bike. And the inspiration actually came from the latest test at Misano, and it was, no, not Misano, and it was Andrea Iannoni's bike, even though it's a Ducati. And he basically had some really cool Italian theming on it. So I've got this, which is the first time I've ever painted with this, and this is pearl white. So you've actually got to paint, two coats, so, well, multiple coats. You've got to paint multiple coats of your base coat, white, and then multiple coats of your top coat, pearl. And I'll open this in a minute and show you, but it looks like snot. It just looks weird. Anyway, it's kind of cool. So first time I've ever painted with that, and we'll see how we go, because we may well use some of this as well, which is Italian green from the Italian green flag. And we've also got Italian red as well, which is Monza red. And we might do Italian striping down the bike, but we're gonna see how we go for time and whether or not this pearl actually looks any good. So yeah, let's get it mixed up. Let's get these fairings cleaned, and I am a little bit nervous of painting with pearl. It was the first time for everything, and I guess I'm just gonna dive right in. This is also a bit of a test dummy run for something else I'm doing later, for maybe another build I'm working on, hint hint. So hopefully this all goes well. Yeah, let's get into it. So I've got different scales here, and I don't actually know if they're going to work because my little scales from last time are accidentally completely destroyed. Look at that, completely covered in clear coat, and now they don't work. So I'm going to go back to Kmart or Target, $2, whatever it was. Okay, so this mix is different to the old mix. This is actually 1:2, so, or 50-50, so 33% paint and then 66% thinners. So this is going to be interesting to see if I can actually make this work and whether or not the scales even start to show a value. Okay, 23. So let's go 20, let's go 30, and we'll take it to 90. Okay, there's 30. Now, thinners up to 90. I think that might be too much. I think let's go like 80 or 75 maybe. Let's try 70. Let's try 77. Give it a good stir. See, that's pretty thin, man. Like, that is super thin. If I went any thinner than that, that would be too thin. Even that looks quite thin. It's very watery. I don't know if I'm going to get it wrong. That's what I've been told. I have just had to go to sleep and think on this because I've just had a major screw up. Yeah, I was painting, everything was going well, and then all of a sudden I started to get some peeling, and then this happened. Have you ever seen something that bad? I just don't know what on earth it is. So I think It's got to be something to do with the paint mixture or the amount of air that I was using. Maybe not quite enough air, a little bit too much paint. The paint was too thin maybe, because it actually looks fine on the bare plastic that I painted. This came up really well until a bug landed on it, and then I got really pissed off at myself and made a boo-boo of that. So it's back to square one. I've just wasted, I think, another 2.5, 3 hours. I think I'm down to 14 hours left, and I've pretty much got to start from scratch again on this paint job. So luckily I have a different type of paint. Instead of being a 1-to-2 mixture, I've got a 2-to-1 mixture that I had actually bought some time ago. And it's exactly the same. It's a white pearl. It's just a different type of automotive paint, which I think is going to be better anyway because it was more expensive. I was going to use it on another bike, but I will just use it on this bike and see how we go. I mean, overall, just the tone of the white looks really cool. It's definitely got a little bit of grey in it, and once I put the pearl over the top, it's going to look pretty sick. I've got the same issue here where I'm starting to get some, I think you call it orange peel, on some of these parts as well, but other than that, it's actually looking like it's relatively smooth. I did come up with a couple of little issues that need to be sanded down, so it's a good thing that almost I did make this stuff up, because now I can go and sand these issues down. Geez, I sound like I need sleep, and I probably do. Right, so I'm gonna get to sanding. I'm gonna sand these down a little bit now, give them another clean, give them a wipe down, and then mix up some new paint and do it all over again. Now I'm just going to grab some primer filler, and I'm just going to go over it all, spot touch up those primer filler areas, sand the primer filler down with a bit of wet sandpaper, and then we should be okay to put some new white base down. Okay, so I look like I've been through a hurricane. Much better result. Always wear your mask too, guys. But check this out. So look at that. Now, like way smoother, almost no bubbling at all. Much better. So now, for the first time ever, and I've never done this, obviously for the first time ever, I'm gonna do a pearl top coat. So I've just mixed it up, and take a look at it. Look at it, it looks, oh, it's like shiny, it's all weird. So I've just mixed that up. I might just give that top coat maybe another 5 minutes to dry, and then let's get to it. Is a massive difference. I'm actually like pretty stoked with that. Look at that. How freaking cool does that look? You know, pearl white. I haven't even put the clear on it yet. I'm not sure if I'll go gloss or satin. I've got both. The tank look heaps better. So it's just a nice sheen to it, I guess. So we've still got the stickers and stuff to go on. I've still got a little bit of red. I'm thinking maybe red or Italian green. I was gonna do an Italian flag straight down the middle, but now Little Me just wants to leave it, maybe not, maybe just a green stripe, I'm not quite sure. I don't know, green, white and red would sort of make, you know, the Italian flag, so maybe just a green stripe straight down the middle. So we might do that. Yeah, let this dry for a little bit, come back and sand it, put some color into it and get out of these fumes. You're not gonna believe it. I've got green overspray everywhere and I thought I did such a good job.
Look, it's just quite literally everywhere and there's no chance that's all gonna come off. Damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it. Look how green it is. Shit. Oh man.
All of that hard work, gone. Just wasted. Hours and hours and hours. Man. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, I just don't. Do I leave it? Do I just try and sand it off? Far out.
Look at this, see it's all down here, all of this just here, all overspray. I think it sort of comes off a little bit just by rubbing it, so hopefully a bit of a rub and a sand and it might come off, but I'm not supposed to sand pearl, so I don't really know what I'm doing.
Check it out, all completely glossed. It still needs a wet sand, but I'm gonna do it once it gets on the bike. So there we go, a nice little bit of green. I've got rid of most of the overspray, and I've also got a can of touch up, so I'm gonna do some touch up a little bit later on. But I think it's come out pretty cool. So we're gonna go ahead and actually put it on the bike now, and yeah. Fingers crossed we can actually get it to sit right on the bike. And fingers crossed in about half an hour or an hour, we should actually have a bike that looks like it's almost complete. And then we're just gonna fix the engine issue and we're up and running, baby. So yeah. it's not quite going to plan because see this gap just here? That's actually meaning that I can't get the bottom lined up. And I think it's because the carbon ducts that I've got are just a little bit too long. So I might take the front back off, and then we might shave the carbon ducts down by sort of 5mm at the front, because I can feel under here, just under the nose, that they're actually still touching. So I'll show you what I mean. So just under here, I don't think there's enough space, like these are full on tight, for the carbon ducts to actually allow the fairing to go back far enough. Okay, you can see just there where it's just rubbing. See that little rub mark right there? So I think if I just sort of take 5mm off the edge the whole way around, that'll just loosen it right up and it should just actually slide further on. Okay, so it's finally all fitted. And I've got the screen on, which I probably should have cleaned a bit first because now I can't get my rag down to clean it. How good does that look? That looks absolutely sick. Now we've still got a surprise coming for just here. So we've still got, bugger, I'll just tell you, we've got carbon wings coming for here. So we're gonna have to take this off again, but it looks like I have fixed that gap issue on both sides. So I've fixed that gap issue on both sides. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. There's some touch-ups I need to do. This is probably the worst paint job I've ever done. But yeah, so now I think we're probably in a position where we can wet sand it. So I'm gonna wet sand it now and then put the tank pads on, whole bunch of other stuff. Let's get cracking.
Out here on the streets, I'm losing my way. You've gotten to me, and that's my mistake. Some might say I can't get too far without seeing your face. Oh. You gave me your heart and took it away. I'm going underground, till your loving comes around, going underground, 'cause your love is not around anymore, going underground, yeah, going underground,
So not a bad effort for today. Unfortunately, we still couldn't get the bike started, but luckily I'm gonna drop it to a friend of mine who can put it against the diagnostic tool and see if it's just as simple as one of the relays. I don't have the tools here myself, so no point beating around the bush. I'll just get someone else to plug it in, check it. Fingers crossed we'll get a real quick alert that just says maybe it's like the ignition relay or something like that. But it's looking pretty good. So we've still got to do the carbon wings when they get here. So we'll take the front off again, put the carbon wings on. Not sure if we're going to tune it, but we'll see what the horsepower is on the dyno anyway, and then get it on track. So this is my personal track bike. It's not going to be sold unless someone offers me a ridiculous amount of money. And it is looking smoking hot. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, you know the drill. too ambitious? Was 36 hours far too short? We're about to find out. And that's because I now have all the parts I need to get this bike running. Hopefully. We've got these. These are our carbon fiber wings from Pro Fiber. How freaking awesome are they gonna look? Now this is our set of diagnostic toggles, dongles, toggles, whatever you want to call them, dangles, whatever. First things first though, let's get these wings on, make the bike look a little bit prettier, and then it's D-Day because we have quite literally 4 hours left and I hope we can make it.
Ta-da! How freaking awesome do they look? They just completely transform this bike. They actually make the bike go from just being like a dull to being wicked looking. They look so cool. and they're perfectly even on both sides. I've measured them from that point to that point to that point to that point. So they look wicked. Damn, that looks good.
Next up, I'm going to have to download the software and let's try something we've never tried before, our own diagnostic. Okay, so we're all connected. We've got Guzzi Diag running on the computer. I never thought I'd see the day where I had a computer hooked up to a superbike in the garage. I mean, come on. That's not an everyday thing. Whether or not I actually get this done right, who knows? But so what I've done is I've connected it all up. This is our module here, the Lonelec module. It's hooked up with power to the battery, and then it's hooked up to the actual, the 3-pin reader at the back. Runs to the USB on the computer, and then I've opened Guzzi Diag, and I should just be able to click connect. Once I click connect, it says please switch on ignition, then press OK. So ignition on, press OK. So now this should read the information off the bike. Yes, it has. It's already read the ECU information. And then from here, what I want to do is go faults. And I'm pretty sure this should give me what I want. So I'll go read. Here we go. So here's all my existing faults. Now what I want to do is try and clear these. So stored faults, we've got P0501 too high, U1129 CAN bus, God knows what that is. That's not even English. U1140 no signal, and P1607, this is the main one, data file saved for safety invalid signal. If I go clear, oh no, it's not letting me clear this fault, the P1607, and then P1607 is the main one that relates to the throttle position sensor. So that was the main whole reason I did this and bought this module, was to try and clear that code. So I don't think this has worked. I think this is going to be a massive fail, but I'll keep reading and I'll look at a few more tutorials online and see if there's anything I can do to clear that code, because I'm pretty sure that's what I need to do to try and start the bike. It's about 10 PM at night, so I'm gonna have to wait till the morning to try and start this bike. Yeah, let's actually just see what it does with the ignition, whether or not I can do any more with it. No, see, there's nothing there. When I hit the ignition, nothing at all. Maybe it's because I've got this plugged in, but maybe not. Okay, so you won't believe this. I've actually just got it going. All I did is I cleared the codes, and then I just put the 0000 key in, and now watch. Build is finished! Oh my god. Oh my god, I've got it working. I can't believe it. Thank you so much, Guzzi Diag. Oh, I came out here, I've got to be honest, I came out here, it's 10 AM the next morning. I was up till 2 AM searching through forums, trying to figure out how do I fix this bike. And then all I had to do after I cleared the codes was put in the 0000 key, and it works. Oh my god. Isn't it funny how something so simple has stumped me for a while? I knew I had to clear the codes anyway, so that had to get done. We failed on 36 hours. Look, we're more like 40, 42 hours, but I don't care. That was just awesome. The bike runs. Let's start it up again. Thank you so much for watching this this series. It's been short and sweet. I can't wait to get this bike on track. Now I can actually go ahead and book some track time as soon as possible, January if I can. We might even take it and get it dynoed as well, just to see how it goes. But yeah, like, subscribe, you know the drill. Oh, and there's a massive surprise coming in about 2 weeks, so make sure you tune into that one.